All righty. Here we go. Here we go. Oh,
I'm muted.
oh,
Hello,
you're
hello.
back. You're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Friday live stream. A little delayed. We're delayed a few minutes here. I couldn't really get the stream up in advance today. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Little Friday action. I got my coffee just now, so
Nice.
can't complain. A little bit of a gloomier day, which I'm kind of feeling. It's kind of setting the vibe for today for me,
It's supposed
but in a good
to,
way.
yeah, it's supposed to rain. I think tomorrow morning too.
Yeah, it was drizzling a little bit earlier, but like I wouldn't even call it like a drizzle. It was like a mist. So I don't know if that's still going on or not. But
Yeah,
I was wondering if we were supposed to get some rain.
yeah, I think so. So, how's your coffee?
How are you doing today?
I'm okay. Okay. You know how it goes. I don't have
Yeah,
any coffee, so that's a
I
bummer.
know, bro. You gotta get on that. You said it's been 3 days.
Been
You gotten like a
84
headache or anything?
years. No, no,
That's good. No,
no.
like legit withdrawals or anything
Yeah. Um, something's wrong with my spine.
then. What
That's
is
a
that from?
Scrubs.
Scrubs? Yeah, yeah.
Because
Okay.
I'm not doing that. You hear that they're rebooting this show?
I heard something about that.
Come on, guys.
We'll see.
We gotta, Hollywood, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
You gotta stop. You're out of control. You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
First they did
I'll
me
probably check
dirty.
it out.
First they did
No,
me.
you won't even check it out?
No, no way.
Even if it's all the same people?
It's not gonna be the same people.
Oh, but what if it was? That's what I'm saying.
The humor doesn't work today.
Well, yeah, but I mean everything's a product of its time. I
That's
would
true.
imagine that it I would hope that it evolved, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, if it is the same cast, I would probably check it out.
Yeah.
But you'd have to get the whole. I mean, is Kelso? Is he still around? Let's
I don't know. I mean, not to sound morbid, but I don't.
see here.
He would have to be really old at this point,
Let's see here.
like 80s or 90s, even.
What I
I would
was thinking.
imagine.
Ken Jenkins. He's 84 years old. I mean,
Wow.
that's old. So I don't know.
but
I
he's
mean,
but he's still with us.
yeah,
Okay, nice.
yeah, he is.
Feels
Yeah,
morbid, but
yeah.
yeah,
So it'd have to be. It would have to be the same people for sure, and
yeah.
then I would probably check it out.
It's funny
Um,
because I was just listening. We went to Little Rock for Thanksgiving, so I was listening to a podcast, and what I do is I just like kind of randomly scroll through ones I sometimes listen to see if there's like a cool guest that interests me or anything. And Bill Lawrence was one, so I listened. Who's the creator? And it was really interesting. He didn't like say the reboot was coming or anything, but like that was one thing they talked about that like I think he said like if everything made sense and stuff that they'd consider it.
hmm,
So it's interesting.
okay. Does he do many shows lately
Yeah,
or
he's still affiliated with things like he was part of Ted Lasso.
oh,
Um,
and Shrinking too.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say because they talked a lot about
Oh,
shrinking on the podcast.
okay, yeah, wow. Good for him.
Yeah, I didn't realize how like of a I don't know what the word would I'm looking for be, but he was like in the industry like real young. Like he I think started with Spin City. Do you remember that
Yeah.
show?
Uh-huh.
So like definitely has a very like impressive resume when it comes to like the shows he's worked on.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Shrinking. Have you?
No, I haven't. But
I've heard it's good though.
I was looking at his Google list of shows and then I lost our stream, so I was like furiously clicking through the tabs to try to find you again. Here you are. Hello.
I'm here. I was never gone.
Did you watch CR last night?
Okay, I some of it, because so I was watching the Game Awards as you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I was streaming that with some people, and I didn't think that they were gonna go that long, but they went till like 10 PM.
Mm.
So I didn't want to just like cut off the stream like right when it was getting to like the most. I mean, not that those people couldn't have just easily gone to another stream, but
Mm-hmm.
I was like trying to dual watch for a while, but then I was like, I'm not doing this justice, so I just
Mm-hmm.
stopped.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't really seen it. No, did you watch it?
I watched into the second half a little bit. So
How was it so far?
good. I'm really curious. I'm really curious because I didn't finish it,
Do
but
you I mean, I guess
I want to know. I want to know. There's no episode next week, so
right, right. Which
I
I didn't know that that was gonna be the case.
do they
I guess I'm okay
typically?
with the implied spoilers to this question I'm gonna ask, but since you watched half of it, do you feel like the end of the campaign is, like, next episode maybe?
Yeah,
Okay,
I was wondering
interesting.
if it was last night's episode or what
Oh,
was
wow,
happening.
okay.
I was like, is this? Do they typically do announcements when it's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
everybody"? Okay,
yeah, they well, I mean, it's not like there's too much precedent for it, but yes, at least for campaign 2, which was also pre-recorded at that point, they said that, like, it's the finale and it's 7 hours long, so get ready type of thing. So I imagine they would let us know as
is
well.
it the first two campaigns? Is it like Game of Thrones, where like episode 9 is like the final battle, then episode 10, the finale is like the outro, or
No,
okay,
not I don't I don't remember exactly the layout of campaign 1 since it's been so long, but
yeah,
campaign 2 was both. And, like, it was literally 7 hours long, so it was both.
yeah, okay.
Um, but I can't remember. I think campaign 1, there might have been, like, a whole episode after the
Yeah, okay.
climactic fight.
Yeah,
Um,
there was definitely, without spoiling anything, there was definitely a moment last night where I was like, "Is this ending tonight? Like, is this
yeah,
it?" But then I didn't finish it, so
yeah. But, yeah, well, at the very least, it wouldn't have been the last one because they would have made some announcement
yeah,
about that.
that's what I was. That's how I was self coping with the
Yeah.
episode. So yeah, no episode next Thursday, which is nice because I get to have my D&D night.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
that works out.
yeah, but then we have to wait till. I mean, it's. I would have to assume it's over the by end of January, like maybe 3 episodes tops would be my guess.
Mm, interesting. Well, so, I mean, I guess that means, like, the final fight is starting at least in last night's episode?
It seems that way.
Interesting.
So,
Very interesting.
well, from the Game Awards, I didn't know this was happening. I did end up watching the Witcher 4 trailer today. Uh, Very good,
Bro, right?
very Blizzard esque quality. Those
Yeah,
kinds
it
of
was like a
things.
full on yeah.
I just try to imagine how many like millions of dollars get spent on something like. Because it was
Right?
it was long, 6 minutes, and it was very good.
And it and I mean no slight by this, but it also had nothing to do with the game. Like
Right.
that was just like purely like a showcase piece, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, which made me wonder, especially since I didn't pair it with any type of date or announcement. It made me wonder if even like true work has begun on the game. Like, do you think they're actually like do you think we're
Cyber.
anywhere close to playing The Witcher 4 or is this like a
I think
what
with
was
that
that
kind
one
of
game that
well, with
yeah.
Cyberpunk, they had like they announced it, and they announced it before they had a trailer, and I think there was some development issues with it, which in the final version. I would guess they're a little bit farther along than they were with Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk was also in development for forever. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I would guess maybe 3 years when we'll
Mm.
see Witcher 4. I think.
I'm
So
excited though.
yeah,
You still gotta finish Witcher 3, right?
yeah. Have
Yeah.
you seen like this drama around Siri?
Mm-mm.
Like her not like there's like
My
apparently.
phone just reacted to you saying Siri.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Well,
But no, I haven't seen it.
I only know this from looking at the comments of the YouTube trailer. I was like, "What's
Yeah.
going on here?" And then I was on coincidentally on Reddit right after that, and there was a thread about that where apparently there's like some people who've been like criticizing how she looks, and like she doesn't look like authentic enough, or just like I can't give it justice
What does
because
that
it was
mean?
like she didn't look. I guess I don't know what her nationality is, but like people were being like, "Oh, like this is wrong," or "That's not right." It's very
Mm.
weird. So I can't give it justice because it was so odd. But there's been
Yeah.
like naturally and rightfully like a counter. There's been like counter content now being like, Yeah, I just enjoyed the game, but or the trailer, but apparently like basement dwellers who like spend 20 hours in their dungeon like have totally over analyzed this thing. But it's kind of a symptom of our time today, I guess, or our time today in terms of like social media.
Yeah, yeah. No, I didn't see that, thankfully, but yeah, I mean, especially for I mean, not that there's anything I mean, I don't know enough to speak on it, I guess, but the fact that it is just like a announcement teaser,
Hmm.
like maybe calm down and maybe wait for the full game,
Right?
you know?
I know. People are so weird, dude. Seriously. The game, the trailer looked awesome though, and
Yeah,
I think Siri's going to
got
be
me
an
real excited.
awesome. Having not finished Witcher 3, I don't know what happens, but I think she's going to be an awesome heroine
I think yeah,
for
heroin, I think.
for the game, and I think they said in their marketing like the start of a new saga. We might even get
Yeah.
a little bit more than just Witcher 4. We might get some more like Witcher 5 maybe.
Yeah, seems like it. Successful franchise, why not keep it going?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought the trailer did a great job of encapsulating in whatever, like, 90 seconds or however long it was, like, exactly what The Witcher is. Like, coming into a town, they have these weird, like, occult beliefs because they don't understand
Hmm.
the monster that's plaguing them, and, like, they're about to sacrifice this girl, but you come in and yet, they killed her anyways. You know what I mean? Like, just that really, like, more like I can't find the words I'm looking for, I guess, but, like, that quick snippet, like, perfectly captured, like, so many of the great moments in the Witcher games of, like, the morally gray, like, decisions you have to make and stuff.
Hmm. He's about to go all full Butcher of Blaviken on that group there at
I
the
mean, they
end.
deserve it. Hope
That
she does.
that trailer also reminds me of like what could have been for the Henry Cavill Witcher. I'm just
Mm,
like,
yeah.
this trailer looks awesome, and Witcher's ending, and Henry Cavill's moved on, and oh, it just feels bad.
Womp womp. Hopefully
So,
Warhammer will be good.
yeah, I don't know much about the Warhammer lore, but
Yeah, I don't know anything, but I'm just excited for it because I know how passionate he is about it, and, so I just have high expectations.
from what I understand, it's a pretty like deep. There's like a pretty
Yeah.
deep like world of lore
Yeah, I think yeah,
Warhammer.
it's, like, incredibly deep.
So, uh,
Tolkien-esque, I believe.
Eric says that spider monster in the trailer reminded me of Nana a bit. Yes,
I could see it.
for sure. Um, what else is going on? Any other big announcements in the trailer? I mean, in the
Um,
game show awards.
I'm excited for the Elden Ring. I don't sequel doesn't feel like the right word, I guess. It's like spin-off, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I
Like,
still need to finish that.
yeah, it look I've only heard a few things about it, so I don't know what they've said, but it sounds like a really cool kinda, like, open world co-op situation where, like, you gotta survive 3 like, the description I saw was that, like, during the day, you're out there, like, leveling up, blah, 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 and then at night, like, these, like, boss entities come by, and so you, like, gotta be ready by then, and apparently it's, like, you gotta, like, survive for, like, 3 days in that type of cycle or something,
Hmm.
which sounded cool.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I saw Slay the Spire 2 was showcased a little bit there.
Yeah, I've never
Um,
played that.
yeah, that game's awesome. I I adore that game. So good, especially for
Have you
traveling. It's fun.
Yeah, it's like a roguelike, right?
Hmm. It is well, not really, but it is the origin roguelike,
Mm,
the game that set on the history of everyone trying to do roguelike. Which, if you
yeah.
remember, Hearthstone Mercenaries was based entirely around the energy from this game, even so
Mm,
much as pretty much grabbing the same like map, scrolling map of like next encounters.
yeah.
They did something very similar. But
Yeah, I need to check that out.
is
I also
Mercenaries still around? Is that still a thing?
I don't think so. I know they stopped supporting it, but, like, I don't know. Like maybe you can still go play the stuff they created. I don't know. Which I guess if they just removed that, that would suck for people that spent money on it. But
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
they don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
they don't care.
Bro, speaking of, well, I don't know if roguelike is the right, I've never played it, so I don't know if that's the right term for it or not, but have you played Balatro? The game that won like 4 awards last night?
Balatro. Never even heard of this
Bro,
game.
yeah, it was nominated for game of the year, but it didn't win, but it was nominated for like indie game of the year, like breakout game of the year. It won like 3 things.
Like a
It's
card
another
game?
card game like roguelike. I've had a bunch of people recommending it to me.
Poker inspired roguelike deck builder. All about creating powerful synergy. Dude, 80,000 5-star reviews on
Yeah,
Steam.
bro, it was nominated alongside Black Myth Wukong and like the Elden Ring DLC, and it's this indie card game. So like, I've heard crazy things about it.
Dude, I just love I love when indie games like explode in popularity. Like
Yeah,
the and I what I also heard was like there was something the Baldur's Gate 3 head dev. What I keep opening my idle game trying to click back to your tab. Um I heard something about like the Baldur's Gate 3 dev like gave a speech last night like kind of railing against the AAA industry or something like that.
yeah. He basically at the like to close out the ceremony, he was the one up there, and basically his whole like speech was about that. It was like a bit, well, not like a bit, but the idea behind it was I can predict 2025's game of the year. And so, and he's like, 2025's game of the year will be made by developers who love gaming. And it was like this long speech basically describing like the environment he created at Larian Studios, saying that like that, and because the point of it being that like that type of environment creates the games that people love. And so he's
Mm.
saying like that will be the winner next year. It was a really good speech. I'm butchering it right now. So, I recommend checking it out for anyone interested. But yeah, it was good.
What a wild concept too.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
there's a guy that I'm connected with on LinkedIn who's a game developer, and he posts some content around this. But something he was involved on Black Myth Wukong, and there was like a similar conversation about like what made that so successful was like just being passionate about games instead of like trying
Yeah.
to create the next like monetization engine driven, you
Right.
know, just just crazy. So,
That's
um,
what I mean, it's far too soon to make any type of judgments, and Rockstar makes good games, but that's what I felt about that last. Did you watch the last reveal of the new IP from them?
no.
It's like the space game. It looks cool, but it just felt like so much product placement that I was like,
Mm,
okay.
okay.
It was like there was a spaceship and it said Porsche on the back, and then like inside it was like a Sony radio that the person was playing, and not that that means it's gonna be like a cash grabby type of game, but it just kind of left me with the ick a little bit.
You know what's funny about that? You compare that to like a game like Fallout, which had Nuka Cola. So you're taking a concept and like adapting it to your world that's like fun and original.
Yeah,
And now Nuka Cola is its own, like people make their own like Nuka Cola machines because there's so much like love for the lore and stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And then I think also didn't Fallout win a game adaptation? Like it got
yeah. It
some kind
did.
of
It beat
award,
Arcane.
which is wild to me. I haven't finished
Yeah,
Arcane yet. I haven't even watched Fallout. Did you watch Fallout?
I did. I did.
Is it that
It
good?
was no. It's
Okay,
not.
so
It's not Arcane good.
how did it beat
Is
Arcane then? I don't
it's
understand.
it's good, especially for like a video game
Yeah.
adaptation, especially live action. Like it's definitely better than you would expect, but it's not
Okay.
it's like Arcane is like
Yeah.
masterful,
I mean, I'm only 3 episodes in on Arcane, so it's probably cart before the horse. But I was definitely like thinking, I'm never going to experience something like this again. And the only other time I can think of feeling that way was with Calamity. In terms of like
Mhm.
the last like 5 years, was like
Yeah.
something where like it's truly special.
Yeah.
So that's very surprising to hear that it lost to Fallout. But point being, though, getting back to the comment I was trying to make originally, is yeah, you have these developers that are so keen to like product place instead of just creating something, like being passionate and like spinning those creative wheels to think of like your version of what that would be in this world.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm not saying those things have to be mutually exclusive. Like
right.
maybe, if you're able to get that brand deal from Porsche and you're able to just use their money to make a better game, great. But, I don't know if that's really what's happening, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
If you think about it too, though, uh, Rock, you said was this Rockstar or
I
Rocksteady?
Now I don't know.
Because if it was Rockstar, let's see.
I think it was the one with the paw. I think that's their logo.
Okay, so not Star then. Because I was like, man, they're doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, I
Maybe
have no
somebody
idea.
maybe somebody in the comments knows, but I'm trying to remember.
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
I'm and it just with a grain of salt, maybe it's not either of those. Maybe I'm getting my
yeah.
wires crossed. But it was a big studio and it was like a secret IP they'd been announcing
Yeah. Okay.
or working on, I mean.
McGurb said Fallout being nominated for 17 Emmys blew my mind. I never played the game, and it was a good show in general, but I don't know if it was 17 Emmys good.
I
It's,
100% agree.
yeah, it's a fair point.
100% agree. Like I was pleasantly surprised with Fallout, but to see it getting like this awards darling status is confusing me.
Yeah.
And I know for whatever reason, a lot of people didn't like Arcane season 2, but I did.
Okay.
I thought it was just as good as season 1. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to make a judgment on which one was better necessarily, but like I didn't think it got worse or anything.
I mean, a lot of people didn't like Rings of Power season 2. I
I
I
still
thought
need to finish
I
that.
thought that was way better than season 1. But it was a good season. Still
Yeah.
like high B, maybe low A, probably high B. But I thought it was objectively a good show.
Yeah.
Um, I will say though, I had dinner with a friend of mine, and we did a double date. Andrea from the Discord. We did a dinner at their house. They look, it's
Oh,
ringing a
the the
bell.
the couple we
Yeah. Uh huh.
went to those food trucks with?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see I got cut out.
Hate to break
I
it to
see I
you.
got cut out from the equation.
I hate to say it, but we've had a lot of get-togethers
Like,
since then.
hey,
They live
okay.
like a block away from us.
No, I see
So
how it is.
okay.
See how it is. Andrea, I will be banning you from the server as soon as this
Oh my
live stream ends.
gosh. So something she mentioned that I hadn't thought about was she talked about how she had read all the books, and I had seen like the criticism of like, but have you read the books, as like being this kind of like over like ego driven thing. But the way she framed it helped me see it from a different perspective, where she was like, I read all the books, and Tolkien had a did such magic with, he had such a way with words, and none of that was present in the show. And having watched the show, that's absolutely true. There is no real compelling dialogue, or frankly really well written dialogue, or even things happening that you're like, wow, like this is one of a kind. It's Lord of the Rings, so it's fun to watch. There is some really tremendous acting in it. But after talking with her, I was like, okay, I do see that. I do see that
Yeah.
now. But all that to say, I thought it was a good show. So those are always going to be people who don't like, who don't like it for whatever reason.
Yeah. And the
Uh,
argument I heard was that Fallout won because it's a better adaptation of the game. Like it's very true to the game, whereas Arcane doesn't really like give you MOBA, like which it's good that it doesn't. It's just a great show on its own, divorced from the game. So that's what I heard, is that like in terms of being an adaptation of the source, Fallout is a better, more truthful thing. And I'm like, okay, I mean, if that's the logic when you want to use, then sure. But
I could see that. I don't think my
yeah,
wife even knows it's a game,
yeah,
and she's like, "When are we watching the next episode?" So I think that's fair. Other semi controversial decisions. Let's talk a little Path of Exile as we kind of wrap up today. So,
Yeah, man.
Path of Exile 2 has been out for a week. Well, in early access for a week, and there's been a lot of controversy around this game, which went from meteoric status to a lot of criticisms, a lot of complaining, a lot of people loving the game. I mean, it's got some crazy numbers behind it. But for people listening, just to give like a quick and dirty,
Excuse me.
the game is much harder than many other ARPGs that are out there. It is slower than many other ARPGs out there, and it is. This is also true for PoE1. It's not very beginner friendly. There's a lot of systems and complications around the game that make it very deep. But one of the jokes about Path of Exile 1 was always, hey, I can't wait to play this game. Like, I have my spreadsheet ready and everything. And it's much more accessible than it was in PoE1, but it's still somewhat.
Yeah.
All that to say, I know you've been playing it. What have you been thinking about it?
I feel like I haven't played it enough to really give a fair assessment, to be honest, but I'm enjoying it. I like I told you already, but to say it here, I read Blake put together a really good, thoughtful post about kind of some of the issues with it, and I, even though I haven't experienced those myself, I think I would feel very much similar to you. And the one thing that I guess I would say, I mean, I'm not disappointed at anything, but I did briefly take a look around the tree, and I think this is one of the things you said, but there weren't as many interesting things on it compared to
Mm,
Path of Exile 1. Which is one of the things I was looking like the most forward to, is like messing with some like crazy stuff. But again, I'm level 16, so like I haven't,
hmm
far be it from me to offer any real criticism. I've only had fun so far. Now I have had a lot of crashes, but I don't fault the game for that because it's early access, and it also is probably my PC contributing somewhat.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the tree is a lot larger, is my guess. And so, because I've looked and seen some of the old nodes that were on there that are still there. Now there are some that
yeah,
are missing. But yeah, looking at the tree, there's not a lot of, so people who don't play Path of Exile 1 or haven't played Path of Exile, you have your skill tree, which is this massive branch. And then you have these skill nodes on there that once you path to them, they do something interesting for you. So one example might be all of your damage becomes fire damage. And so now you might be like, oh, that's interesting. I've been always using freeze arrow. Well, now freeze arrow isn't freeze arrow anymore. It's a fire arrow because all your damage is now fire damage. Now that's a pretty bad
yeah,
example because there is also fire arrow. So it's like, why wouldn't you just use that? Um, or another good example I've heard it say is, in other ARPGs, the game might say, hey, you got this important skill point. Now you do 20% more damage. Well, in Path of Exile, now you shoot 2 arrows instead of 1. Or, now your arrows chain, they link to other enemies. And so stuff like
yeah.
that was always really interesting. And it seems like some of that isn't present in the tree so far. But they also have 6 classes to add. So I assume the tree is being heavily worked, would be my guess.
Wait, they're adding 6 more classes, or what do you mean by
Huh?
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's 6 more classes.
interesting. So like, yeah, I wonder how that's going to work. Are there going to be like 6 new branches that they mesh into the current tree, or do you think they'll just like
So
insert
like
a new starting point and really not add much new?
I think there's going to be more branches. And I think they're probably going to excuse me. There's some skill wheels that are just like increased damage. I would wonder if some of those will get changed to like a notable or something. But like Druid, for example, Druids are totally like shapeshifters. And we know you can be a wolf and a bear, and I think they said one more. So there's
Is Druid
presumably
in the game yet?
no, it's not.
Okay.
But that's presumably going to be there's presumably going to be skill tree nodes around that, around
Yeah, I mean,
shapeshifting.
yeah.
So you have to assume that, yeah, there's going to be new branches or things like that. I don't know, but yeah, I would expect a lot of skill tree changes in the coming
How many
months.
classes were in Poe at the end of it?
6 total. So this
Okay,
one,
that's why I was confused. So we're going from 6 to 12?
yeah, uh-huh,
Or yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
with 3
Um,
ascendancies for each one.
wow. Yeah, because so I'm a ranger, and I haven't, like, looked up any builds or anything, so I was just looking through, like, my slice of the pie chart, basically. So I haven't
Mhm.
looked at, like, the other areas, but, like, in Poe 1, I felt like even if I didn't have a build, I could kinda get some ideas of what I wanted to do based on what was on the tree. And here, I have no idea. So it might just be a product of my ignorance, and I need to learn more about the game, but, like, there wasn't any obvious, like, okay, like, if I got this, that would make me this type of build. Like, I
Yeah.
was confused about a lot of things even. I was like, "Well, why would I even want that type of thing?"
Yeah, a good
But
way I think of it is my character is almost level 80, so, like, there's maybe 10 more points for me to grab on the skill tree, and I did not grab a single notable, skill
oh,
notable skill.
that sounds pretty boring.
Yeah, so, I mean, I
Well,
just
but I guess what do you mean by notable?
the big circle ones that, um,
Like
like
chaos inoculation?
yeah, exactly.
Are there any of those?
Oh, yeah, there's lots of them.
You just didn't get them
I just
because
yeah,
they're not uninteresting or
I
what?
just didn't see anyone that was, like, interesting for my build. It's a
Mm.
pretty niche character, though. It's the mercenary who does grenades, and grenades is a new mechanic, so, I don't really expect
Yeah,
you would have to have something new for that, so
right. And also, obviously, it's early access. I'm not expecting a fully polished, done, like, so these
right,
aren't really, like, these are criticisms, I guess, but they're not concerns.
right. Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Do you like your build?
Yeah, I'm having fun with it. I've avoided all content, and then this morning someone posted a YouTube video of their character, and they were, like, at a blistering pace, like, destroying apps,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay." But I still really like
That's
my
what it
build.
could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still a really fun build.
Nice.
Well, I think that's gonna do it today. Thank you all for tuning in today. We'll have no watch party next Thursday, and we also won't have a stream next Friday because I'm leaving for my in-laws Christmas next Friday. So
Wow.
I think this might be our last stream. This might be our last stream of the year right here, man. I didn't even think about that. We might
Yeah,
have
that's crazy.
we
Me
might do some
neither.
we might do some on the 27th. I don't know. I'll probably be out of town on the 27th too, but yeah, this might be the last one.
Yeah. Well, potentially last one, but maybe we throw
Yeah,
a non Friday stream before the end of the year or something.
yeah. So
We'll see.
anyway,
But yeah, in case it is though, happy holidays, y'all. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year as well.
hmm
But we'll see you soon. I guess we'll have a couple pods
yeah,
probably
yeah.
before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in today, y'all. Hope you guys have a great weekend.